be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot.
What's the deal, my good people? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday. I hope you all are doing well. If this is your first time at the channel, I want to welcome you here. Pull up a seat. I hope you enjoy the content. And before we get into this food, I want to ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe, and go ahead and tap that bell while you're at it so you're notified anytime I drop a brand new video, go live, or schedule a premiere. All right, y'all. So today, I definitely didn't feel like cooking. I have been super lazy, you guys, like just not feeling it. So I went and picked up some Subway. And I have a tuna sandwich. That's the only thing I eat at Subway. And I just love that tuna. I don't know what it is about this tuna. It looks super simple. I don't even know what's in it, but this is the sandwich. I'll let y'all know what's in it. Yeah, that's it. And I got some barbecue chips. That's so good. So what I have on my tuna is, I put pepper jack cheese on it. It's tuna, bell pepper, onion, pepperoncinis, tomatoes, jalapenos, cucumber. You know what I wish I had with this? I wish I had some McDonald's Sprite. I love McDonald's Sprite. Just like 2 sips. That'll be good. So what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Everything's been cool with me. Took a couple days off to work on some other stuff. And that's it, really. A lot of my other projects, well, a few of my other projects are on hold, you know, because everything is happening. So, you know, still trying to keep everything afloat on like the back end. I really just in general have been trying to make an effort to cook more, but my God, I save so much time when I don't cook. Picking this up was so easy. But I missed y'all. I missed y'all. I need to go live. Maybe that's gonna happen today. Tonight. I wanna play some games. So I don't know if y'all have seen or not. I did post on the community tab about paint night that's coming up on Saturday, May 2nd. It's gonna be at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I don't know if I was going with everybody else, but I know we'll still be quarantining here in California, so figured we'd do something fun at home. If you look at the flyer in the community tab, it'll tell you the colors that you need in order to do the painting, which is going to be a wine glass. How fitting. But also, don't feel like you have to spend money to do this. Just work with whatever you have. I know somebody was telling me they was going to use their colored pencils. Totally fine. You do not have to spend money for this. Work with what you have at home. You don't even have to paint. You can just come and chill, listen to music, and just vibe out with us. So that's that. I'm ready with some story time today. If you're new here, I'm doing one-off stories right now. I've done a ton of story times, y'all. I talk about all my life. So again, if you're new here, you can actually click on the playlist if you want to catch up on any of the other story times that I've done. You know, learn more about me if you like. But I'm doing like a one-off story time series. That's gonna be hidden. Okay, so today I'm gonna tell y'all about that one time I was a DJ. I know y'all not surprised by this. It really makes me think about how, I mean, first of all, I've accepted that I'm impulsive. I didn't really realize this about myself, y'all, until I started doing these story times. Impulsive, but at the same time, maybe curious, maybe a good way to describe it. You know, it's a lot of things I've done in my life that I can tell you for sure if I like it or not because I've tried it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me get into the story because there is an impulsive part of it, I should say. You know, I don't think that me being a DJ is impulsive. It's just the way that I went about it. So this was back in 2008, before the recession hit, you know. I didn't see the recession coming at the time. But anyways, I was in a relationship, and me and my girlfriend at the time, we lived together. And this will be Zoe. You guys might remember Zoe when I went through all of the relationships I've had. But I didn't talk about Zoe a whole lot because we didn't have a whole lot going on in terms of like drama. You know what I'm saying? What up, Zoe? And we're still cool to this day. But, so we're together. I do have a full-time job. And I was on the internet one day. I think I was like downloading music or something. And I was like, dang, I wish I was a DJ. And somehow I ended up on this website. I forget what the website was called, but of course I go to the website and they're having like this amazing sale on equipment. And I just sat there and was going through all the equipment, looking at the speakers, looking at turntables. Y'all, I don't know how to use turntables at all. I mean, I'm a fan of music, but I've never DJed before. But I was excited, you know what I'm saying? So, y'all, I went for it. I just bought the equipment. I didn't say nothing to Zoe, and I just bought the equipment. I don't even know if I said anything to her after I actually bought it. I think that she actually knew about it once there was a knock at the door and all this equipment came in the house. I mean, they were huge speakers. I mean, DJ speakers, you know what I'm saying? I had 2 of them. I had stands. I had all kind of stuff that just came to the house one day. And she was like, Rhonda, what's going on? I was like, oh yeah, a DJ, like, you know, I was online and they had their sale. So I just, you know, went for it. And yeah, so this equipment shows up. She wasn't mad or anything. I mean, it just would have been nice if I said something, y'all. Which I'm better at that now. And I feel like I'm actively working on making sure that you know, because I be in my head so much about stuff. But obviously, if you're in a relationship, like, you should say something. You know, like, hey, by the way. And it was my money. It wasn't like our household money or anything like that. But I feel like I could have had a conversation with her, like, oh, you know what? I'm thinking about being a DJ, because here's the thing too. Not that I was really asking for permission to do it, but I needed to practice. So that means that I would have had to make all this noise in our apartment. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to DJ, learning how to transition, learning about tempos and stuff like that, right? So I should have said something to her to prepare her for the fact that like all this noise is about to be happening in our apartment. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the equipment shows up. And she's like, Rhonda, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm about to be a DJ. So she was like, what? I mean, I had a gang of equipment, y'all. I had everything to be a professional DJ. And I had no clue where to start. So, and at this time, it wasn't like I could hop on YouTube. In 2008, YouTube wasn't around like that. So, anyway, I get excited, pull everything, you know, open up all the boxes, putting stuff together. Got the speaker set up in the house. You know, we loving the music. You know, I got the speakers in the corner. And I'm like, wow, like I really have DJ equipment. Now I have to learn how to use it, you know. But I also needed music. You know what I'm saying? And I bought the kind of turntables. It wasn't like the record players because I didn't want to spend the money on records. Records are expensive, you know, especially trying to have a whole catalog of music. So I had the kind with the CD compact disc things, but it was like still a turntable. I don't know if y'all seen that before or not, but and some people will say that's not a real DJ, but that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it was great equipment, and it made sense for the way that I was going to be able to like stack my catalog. So I had to like burn a bunch of CDs, download all this music. I invested. I'll get to that part. Let me not skip ahead. Okay, so I have this equipment set up and I'm hyped. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already using my CDs that I just have in my collection. You know, trying to figure out tempos and how to transition and all this stuff, right? So I'm learning as much as I can on my own. And I'm like practicing every single night. As soon as I get off work, I come home like a little kid, y'all, change all my clothes, put on my play clothes. And I'm just up all night like practicing, you know what I'm saying? Like doing stuff. So I do this for like a couple weeks. I'm just making sure I'm good enough to like do transitions and stuff. And I'm not trying to do clubs or nothing. All I want to do is house parties. And of course I go to handy dandy Craigslist once I'm ready to do parties, right? So Craigslist, by the way, y'all, Craigslist is it. I mean, you got to be careful, obviously, you know what I'm saying? But I've never had any issues with Craigslist. Craigslist, I have found so much stuff on there, you guys. So anyway, go to Craigslist and I'll start posting on there. Hey, DJ, I'm trying to set my rate, y'all. My rate was $25 an hour, which is cheap. It really is. Affordable, I should say. And I started getting hits. Now, mind you, let me tell you the power of intention too. So my biggest concern about doing parties was me being a lesbian woman and the way that I dress. I didn't want anybody to look at me and feel some kind of way like, oh, no, we don't want gay people here, or I feel some kind of way. You know what I mean? It wasn't even about me being a woman. It was just more so of like me being a tomboy and the way I was going to be dressed and having on hats and stuff or whatever. And for somebody to feel some kind of way, you know, as soon as I showed up. So I really had intention of like, you know what? I want to be aligned with the right people. You know, I hope that I connect with the right customers and that it works out, right? So I posted my ads on Craigslist. Repost. Start getting some hits, right? I get hits. And there's a couple was saying that they were having a ceremony at their house. I'm reading through everything, reading the email. We kind of go back and forth a little bit. And the guy was like, oh, by the way, are you okay with, you know, the LGBT community? You know, the gay community. And I was like, actually, yeah, I am. And I'm a part of the community as well. It was actually a commitment ceremony for two men who had been together for like 15 years. And they just wanted to have a celebration of their relationship and their commitment, right? So I'm like, cool. Go to the party. Let me back up again. I'm sorry. The party is in like 3 weeks. He tells me what kind of music he wants. He wants like the 70s, 80s kind of music, rock, alternative vibe, right? Now I'm familiar with that era because I grew up watching MTV, you know what I'm saying? So I know about a lot of rock and stuff like that. But I'm more comfortable in like a R&B, hip hop, jazz kind of vibe, you know? So over the course of this next 3 weeks, I had a coworker who has lived in so many parts of the world. And she's super like musically inclined, right? So what she did was for 2 weeks leading up to me going to this party to actually DJ my first event, we would spend like 2 hours a day, y'all, of her telling me about artists, you know, giving me the education, the history behind these artists, where they were from, you know, what the music was all about. She really just schooled me on a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Even artists I was already familiar with, you know, she was putting me on to their best projects, their #1 hits and all this kind of stuff, right? And so we would do this for 2 hours every single day for 2 weeks, helping me build my catalog. So she would give me songs and the education behind these artists, and I would download the music. Y'all, y'all remember the big old binders with the music? I had 3 big old binders full of music. and it was all like versatile, which I loved. You know, I felt like I could really DJ any kind of party, to be honest with you. I was prepared, and my coworker helped me. So shout out to my coworker Lisa for taking time out to help me like that, because she didn't have to do it, you know what I'm saying? But she was excited that I asked, and she was excited that I was trying something new, you know what I'm saying? So she helped me. She was an older woman too, so she was excited for me. So Lisa got me together. I'm learning about music, you know, she putting me on. And so I was ready for the party, you know? So fast forward, now we at the party. Y'all, it felt so good when people were making requests to actually have the music that they were asking for. Because I didn't have a laptop. It wasn't like that. I didn't have a laptop to where I could just pull up whatever they wanted. I had to either have it on a CD or I didn't have it at all. That was it. So of course I have my 3 big old cases of CDs, and anything people asked for, I was ready. And of course I played what I wanted to play, you know, within the 70s and 80s, like genre or whatever, or that time frame. So the party was amazing. It really set the tone for what I was trying to do. I'm not gonna lie to you, I really connected with this family, this couple. I connected with them and their daughter and everything. I stayed in touch with them for like 8 or 9 years after I DJ'd. They would invite me to a Halloween party every single year. And like I told y'all, I was charging $25 an hour. They gave me way more than that because, you know, it was a ceremony, like a wedding. You know what I'm saying? So they hooked me up, and we felt like family for years. You know, so that was dope. That what came out of it. But I also just started DJing all kind of parties. You know, I was getting all kind of hits because my rate was super low. And also what came along with that was that other DJs were trying to take my head off. They were like, you're ruining the game with this rate. You know, I'm not getting any gigs because of you. And I felt bad, but I was like, I mean, I'm just trying to get my foot in the door, you know what I'm saying? And so I would get emails like that all the time from like other DJs or whatever, telling me that I was messing up the market or whatever. Because of course their rates were like $75, $100 an hour. Something like that. It was way higher than what I was charging. And yeah, so I went on to do a whole bunch of parties, you guys, met a lot of people. And of course things naturally slowed down because the recession hit. So people were not having parties anymore. And I was only interested in doing house parties. I was not trying to go to clubs or anything like that. But going back to the power of intention was that most of the parties that I DJ'd were people who were part of the LGBT community, you know what I'm saying? And so I felt comfortable. I was able to come dressed as, you know, I normally would. I felt safe. I mean, and this is not to say that it's because they were part of the LGBT community that nothing couldn't have happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was always observant. My parents always knew where I was. On many occasions, Zoe would come with me. A few occasions, like a couple of my cousins came with me to the party. So I always felt like I was safe, you know? So it was a really good experience. I'm curious how things would have worked out had the recession not happened. I think that I eventually would have invested in the turntables with the record players, you know, with the records, or whatever was going on at the time. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. I did. And of course, when the recession hit, I had to get rid of the equipment. There was no point in sitting on it. So, what did I do? Oh, I went to Craigslist. I sold it on Craigslist. I remember this guy came over, this big old dude came over. I gave him a good deal. I got like more than half of my money back. He came and got the speakers. He was so excited about, you know, getting this equipment and, you know, and that was it. It was very short-lived, but I'm glad that I did it. I tried it. I learned a lot about music. I met a lot of people, had new relationships and stuff. It was dope. It was a really dope experience. So that one time that I was a DJ, again, just up and did it because that's just how I am. You know, like my curiosity will get the best of me if I don't actually like just try something, you know. Which is a good thing. It is good to try new stuff, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's not your main gig, it is nice to like try things, you know what I'm saying? And keep yourself excited and the adrenaline behind learning something new, you know what I mean? But that's the story about that. So I will be back tomorrow. tomorrow might be either, I don't know, it might just be me with story time, or my mom might be here with a challenge. I'm not really sure. So I don't know. Either way, I'll be here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Be good to yourself. Peace.
I be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot.